Just a Friendly Game by Jane Chefs. Stanley crept around the corner of an inflated wall, his paintball gun at the ready. He couldn't see anyone else, not his teammates, not his opponents. Within the first 2 minutes, everyone had sprinted away, trying to find the best positions for sneak attacks, turning the game into a game of hide and seek. As Stanley rounded the corner, his foot hit something on the ground and he fell flat on his face. Nimbly, he jumped to his feet, expecting to see one of his friends either crawling away or preparing to shoot him on sight. Instead, he saw a protective vest. It had red markings, the same as his. Momentarily startled, he blinked at the vest several times. Then he picked it up and examined it for clues. It looked fresh and clean, as if someone had just dropped it there. A twig snapped behind him. Reflexively, he whirled around, using the vest as a shield. It worked. A ball of yellow paint, which would have hit him square in the chest, splashed against the vest in his hand. "How come you have two?" Simon asked, lowering his gun. "Is that even allowed?"
"It's not mine. I've no idea whose it is, but it has red markings. Do you think it's one of ours?"
Simon came closer, frowning at the vest. "Who else is? We're the second players here today, and the players before us wore yellow and blue. And they clean and check this place every night, even after every game. Where did you find it?"
"Right here."
Stanley waved at the ground by the inflated wall. "Had to be someone from your team," Simon said firmly.
"But who?"
The moment the question left Stanley's mouth, a splashing sound made them both look at the small pond in the middle of the field. It was a shallow pond, more like a big puddle, with tall grass all around it. Suddenly, Stanley's friend and teammate Frank jumped to his feet in the middle of the pond, his sister's pink paintball gun held securely in hand. His dark hair was dripping with water and mud over a dark red headband. His chest was bare, and although muscular, a far cry from the impressive physique of Frank's favorite movie character. With a roar, he began to fire the gun, using both fingers on the trigger, creating the effect of an automatic weapon. Red bullets flew around them, hitting everything and everyone within range, including Stanley and Simon. Frank spun around several times, screaming as the bullets flew through the air.
"Oi, Rambo, you're not supposed to kill your teammates!"
Stanley shouted at Frank as more bullets landed on his already stained vest. As Frank turned around, still spraying the walls, the grass, and each player with red bullets, he pulled a paintball grenade from his pocket and used his teeth to remove the safety pin.
"Well, we could have guessed it was Frank's,"
Simon said to Stanley with a sigh.
"Who else would have had the brilliant idea of swimming underwater in the most disgusting pond in the world?"
More bullets landed on the wall beside Stanley, but none hit him, as Frank's gun finally emptied. Frank, now laughing maniacally, raised his hand to throw the grenade. Suddenly, it exploded in his hand, covering him and part of the pond in red paint. Startled, he looked at his hand. All the other players approached the pond, looking annoyed. Stanley could see that both the red and yellow players were covered in red paint. However, after a quick calculation, he came one player short.
"Someone's missing,"
he said to Simon. Benny peered from behind the inflated wall and took in the scene bug-eyed. "Wow," he said, staggering forward. His uniform, with its yellow insignia, was completely clean. "What happened here?"
"Hey, Rambo!"
Simon shouted at Frank, who was trying to clean the red paint off his face in the dirty pond.
"Thanks for letting us win.